All right. Well, welcome to another Kaleo Conversations interview episode thing here. I'm here with Maranda Lau. She is one of our Kaleo alumni students. You've probably seen she's done some other videos for us in the past. But initially, we were going to record this video at camp. Last week, we were up at Quaker Hill. Miranda was the director there. But things got a little busy and a little crazy. And we just weren't able to do it there. So we're doing it back at church. But here are our questions.
Oh man.
Looking back at your time in Kaleo Academy, what experiences or lessons most directly shaped the way that you lead youth today in your church and at camp?
I really think for me it was the Quaker history class, and I especially liked the social justice part because that's one of my passions. But that whole class and just learning about Quaker history and everything that Quakers of the past like stood up for and stood for was really inspiring for me. And I think it all just boils down to their commonality of wanting to love like Jesus. And that's kind of what my husband Tyler and I preach to the youth, and we have it hanging on the wall over there. Um, and I really just think that's the message base of all that I learned at Kaleo. But another activity that really inspired me and stuck with me all these years, and I forget what class it was, but they had us like write our obituary.
Interesting.
Yeah, and it was really hard. And then it was basically like, what do you want people to think about you most? Like your love for Jesus and how you went and did all this stuff, or all the things you have. And so we do that with our youth occasionally, just
Write their
to,
obituary.
yeah, to like bring them back to center, because I think sometimes we all get like derailed in life, but it's also like a good reminder of like our purpose here and in general, and Jesus is the center of it all.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, the two or three Kaleos I've been a part of, no one has done that. So
Oh, you better get on that.
I know. I'm just trying to think who the teachers were your year and
I want to say it was
what class
Josh.
that would have been in, Josh. But he didn't do the biblical interpretation one your year,
Mm-mm.
did he?
No,
He probably did a
Joe
different one.
Carson did that one.
Yeah. Interesting. I'll have to ask him about that.
Yeah.
Okay, so as the youth leader at your church, how do you balance your personal life with the demands of ministry, and what keeps you motivated to keep pouring into the next generation?
Oh man. I'm a special ed teacher, so I don't really think I have a personal life.
You have summer break.
You're funny. Um, no, I think it's really fortunate that I am in the school system, because all of our youth obviously are in school. So I can still kind of relate to that age level, know what's going on in the schools. But with that schedule, like I do have the same schedule as them with my work. Um, and so then we try to be more intentional during like fall break and spring break and Christmas break to get together or something. Like we always do a Friendsgiving, like the Sunday before, like the Sunday of Thanksgiving break, and then everyone brings something in. We had it in the youth room this year, and it like wasn't, it's not big, but
Right.
we had like 3 tables in here, and it was really fun. And then we always do like a huge Christmas party, and we do that during break. And then this year we went on spring retreat at Quaker Hill, and that was
You had
really
a lot of people
fun.
there.
Yeah, I think we had 12, but it was really fun just to be able to not worry about my job
Mm.
and then my personal things going on, because I'm on the same schedule. But I think one thing that is beneficial about your partner doing it with you, like Tyler's always my second, is that he can like pick up where I'm slacking, and he knows everything that's going on behind the scenes. And so like we just are a good team together. And that's how we like balance it, because I'm like, oh my gosh, let's go do this with the youth, and he's like, maybe not, because you have this and this
Yeah.
week, and you won't be able to be your best self. I'm like, oh, you're right. So I think balancing that and just having someone hold you accountable for things is really important.
It is helpful.
Mhm.
Yeah. I don't for a long time Leo was my second. And then the last couple of years she wasn't able to, and it is definitely different to have someone who's
Mhm.
not your spouse.
Yeah.
What is one challenge that you faced while directing junior high camp? This question was written before we were at junior high camp. And how did your faith and training prepare you to overcome it?
Yeah.
Pick one
I
of the
really
handful of challenges.
I think like like before camp even started, it was really hard finding people that were willing to like use their vacation time to come up to camp and be with junior hires, which not a lot of people are drawn towards. I am, thankfully. They're so funny. But I was really like I kept getting no's, and I'm not used to people telling me no. Like I usually can weasel my way
Yeah.
into getting what I want. It's one of my spiritual gifts.
Yeah. I would agree with that. So to be
But
told no
yeah,
a lot.
yeah. So I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm gonna have to be a counselor, and like don't think I would have done a good job being a director and a counselor. Like that group of girls would have been like,
Well, and now in hindsight, knowing all the stuff that you had to
I should
deal
have been a
with.
counselor.
Well, it would have been hard for you to
It
be a
would be really
counselor
hard because
to
then,
have to go offsite to.
especially like when we go to Ice Cream Alley and I have to stay there the whole time, like that group. Yeah. Anyway, so what was really helpful was like just praying, but like it was also really hard. Like, wow, I don't have a lot of friends that love
Mm,
Jesus. Like I have friends, but I'm like, oh, I don't think they would do good in this role because of the religious aspect of it. So then I was like kind of reflection on like, oh, I need to reach out more to these people and draw them in. Um, but then it was also a chance for me to ask for help, which I'm not very good at. And so by a lot of prayer and letting go of my pride, we found somebody and she was awesome. Shout out to Dina for saving.
oh yeah,
Yeah, she's great.
she's okay.
Yeah, she saved us. So I think that was probably, but then also like with camp, it's always unexpected if you're going to go to the ER or not.
Mm-hmm.
And last year we went twice, so we doubled it
Yeah,
this year.
Miranda was in the hospital 4 times this year.
Not for myself.
Yes.
But like just leaning on God in those moments because it's always so uncertain what the outcome will be. Like, oh, it's fine, go home, or
Yeah.
like, oh, actually, you broke your body. So there was a couple times that was really scary, but I have to like have a good outwards exterior, but like inside, yeah, inside I'm like losing it and just like praying, like, oh gosh, help me through this moment. And like you have to call parents because obviously their parents aren't there.
Yes.
And like have a hard conversation, like, hi, you trusted your kid to me, and they are now in the ER.
Yeah.
Like
I was thinking about that for you on the fourth person when you told me, because I was like, I only took 2 kids to the ER, but they were both kids that either were from this church or were from a friend's church that I peripherally knew somehow. Like I saw their parents here and there. So it was like not calling a total stranger to tell them that news. But yeah, I think a lot of the kids you were taking were just like random kids.
Yeah. Yeah. It was really, yeah. And then one of the ER nurses in the McCall ER like sends her kid to camp. Like the kid was a camper. And so I'm like, hey,
We're back with another one.
please keep sending your child.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. She's like, as long as it's not my kid, it's fine.
And the last question: how do you see God working in the lives of the students that you serve, and what gives you hope for the future of the church through this generation?
What I think is super interesting is the demographic of our youth. Most of them come from divorced families, and Tyler and I didn't have that experience growing up. So when they're like asking for prayer or anything that they need help in, it's hard for us to relate. And so we really have to lean on God and choose the right words, but also just be there for them. And like, I have no idea what you're going through, but this is what you should do. But they're all like so responsible. Like they drive themselves here every Sunday. They all have jobs, and it's just really inspiring to me because I was not that mature as a youth. And I really took advantage of my situation, but then also I wasn't. Like looking back, I think I could have been a lot more like, oh my gosh, my family is so amazing and awesome. But now I really thank my mom.
Hindsight.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, she did so much for me. But then I also love when we get into deep discussion. Right now, we're going through this book called like Experiencing God. And it sparks crazy discussions, and they ask such deep questions. And that is like blows my mind because I'm like, okay, I don't have the answer for you yet. Let me do some research. But then we also do a lot of art with it.
Yeah.
And they like it.
I know everyone can't see really how cool this room is.
Thank you.
I mean, this wall's cool. They can see that one, but yeah, there's some good stuff around here.
I like to have their own work on the wall just to like remind themselves. But then like one of our boys, and we have a lot of boys. We only have 2 girls.
Oh,
then,
that's
like,
interesting.
10 boys, which is like crazy because it's usually the opposite.
Yeah.
And so the boys are like, Miranda, when's our next art project? I'm like, oh, you want to do that? But like we haven't done one for this third intention. They're called intention.
Okay.
So God's invitation. Yeah, but like we've been all busy this summer because camp and stuff. So, and this week's VBS. So,
woohoo!
And next week's our pool party. So it's gonna be
and
a
then
while.
Yearly meeting.
And then yearly meeting. So yeah, we're gonna not be here for a while.
Yeah,
it's okay. But yeah, that is. Did I answer every part?
Yes. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
They inspire me. Like, and then they're also on social media, and so then I try to like, not my own personal social media, but the youth social media. I try to like
interact
keep
with
that in their feed. Like, oh, Jesus.
Yeah. Nice. Well, thanks for sitting down and
Of course.
Chatting.
It's always a pleasure to
Yeah.
chat.
Bye-bye.
Thought like, oh, post-COVID, that'll go away, things will get back to normal. And what's happened is some of the more recent data that's come out, like things are actually getting even more challenging. You're seeing more pastors who are exhausted, feeling stressed, feeling like we're just in a sense of a polarized world, and it is hard to move through there. So that would be another one. The median size of church